Like any person, children have rights, guaranteed to them by the laws of Guyana. In accordance with the provisions of the Child Care and Protection Agency Act, the Child Care and Protection Agency, which falls under the purview of the Ministry of Social Protection, is mandated to ensure that the rights of the children are respected and honored by their parents and caregivers. This week in Government in Action, we explored the provisions made by the government for the healthy and stable development of Guyana's children.
Children got rights, a whole list of rights. The UN, I think, about 23, but there's a list of rights. And one of the main rights for children got a right to survival. Children got a right not to be abused. They got a right to care. They have a right to be educated, to be sent to school. Children got rights, a whole lot of rights, just like adults. Adults got rights. Children got rights. And this is it, and we have to ensure that the children get them. Nurturing, a right to have a name, a right to an identity. The birth must be registered so that they can have a birth certificate. It's a whole list of rights.
In 2018, there were over 4,900 reported cases of child abuse, 2,400 of those cases stemming from neglect. As of January this year, the agency received over 400 reports of child abuse, 122 of which were of sexual nature. This, of course, is much to the disappointment of the director of the Child Care and Protection Agency.
That, for me, is really too high. Because when you look at reports, a report is just more or less a tip of the iceberg. Because child abuse is hidden crime. And particularly sexual abuse is behind closed doors. And some of the victims, they do not have a voice to report abuse. Meaning many children are being abused and they can't report. So even if we do get a report, that's a tip of the iceberg. So getting plenty reports too does not say that there are more child abuse now than there was last year. It's just that the reports have increased, and a lot can come from the work that we're doing. So children are little people. They're not miniature adults. They can't be treated as an adult and give them tasks and things to do things as an adult, but they're little people with feelings, and people need to understand that you need to view them as children, that they need protection. They don't need abuse. No child deserves to be abused. Children need protection from adults. So some of the messages we're sending there is to propel persons to get into that mode where you want to protect a child and not to abuse a child.
The department encouraged parents who feel overwhelmed by the responsibilities of parenthood to seek help from the Child Care and Protection Agency rather than project their frustrations on their children.
We are here to help parents. We are here to provide the support that parents need to care for the children that's here. So we help to build the capacity of parents. We got programs going. We got special capacity building programs for parents. We got programs going to help parents deal with the personal dysfunctions so that you could be a better parent. So there is help. But the thing is, we have to get parents to cooperate. And the last thing we want to do is to remove a child. But if we get the cooperation from the parent that you're willing to work with us so that together we can correct the deficiencies. So there are supports. We have lots of programs going to help parents. So if a parent feels that they need some assistance, they too can call the hotline or come in and we'll get to you to give you that kind of help. This work here, we can't do it in isolation. Child protection work is never done in isolation. So we have a big partnership program going on where we want to partner with individuals and groups at the community level, even faith-based organizations. We want to partner with you because together we can help families and we can help children.
Recognizing that a healthy family life provides the best environment for child development, the agency has aggressively sought out support from volunteers and various religious groups in an effort to expand its partnership program. CCPA will also open several group homes in keeping with the new Juvenile Justice Act, which minimalizes the criminalization of young people by striking out former offenses like truancy.
So we have 2 group homes that we'll be launching for teens. This is just small homes, not more than 6. Looking that they're sitting at the family table every night, a family could have 6 children. So that is being done through the foster care program. So by June, we're gonna have the 2 group homes up and ready. We're also opening our new family center. The old drop-in center that was burnt, now it's a whole new complex. It's a children and family center. It has accommodation for children that in difficult circumstances that we have to remove temporarily, that we can process you and see how quickly we can get you back to your family. And the center also, it has accommodation, 8 apartments for families, that where we can hold children with a family so as to prevent unnecessary separation of children.
The provision of proper care and development in a child's early years can serve as a preventative measure against that child falling prey to juvenile misdemeanors when he or she gets older. In 2016, the department launched its Child Care and Development Services Regulations to monitor the institutional observance of child rights. Executive Officer of Early Childhood Development, Ms. Laverne Thorne, explains.
At the agency, there is an early childhood development unit. It's called the Early Child Development Services Unit. So I am the head of that unit. Our unit is mandated to ensure that child care facilities, these being daycares, playgroups, home-based care, night care, are meeting and maintaining minimum standards. So I am more of a policy individual. I have a team of staff that we call them registration license officers. They are the staff that go and monitor the child care facilities to ensure that they are meeting and maintaining the minimum standards that's set out in the Child Care and Development Services Regulations.
The unit looks after the interests of children from birth to age 3 and emphasizes the important impact of active engagement on the healthy development of a child.
And the regulation stipulates some of the things that the child care providers have to do in order to ensure children are being given quality care. There are things in terms of the environment, what the environment has to entail. We're talking about the amount of space that children need, how caregivers should treat with babies, what are some of the things that you have to do. For instance, if you're caring for a baby should not just be put there with a feeding bottle and be left alone, but babies need the attention, they need to be held, they need that for you to communicate with them while feeding and talking with them. The toddlers and so on, sometimes we have this thing as Guyanese that children, babies, they don't need anything, but that's the time that they need the maximum amount of care, love, attention, touching, and all of those things.
The Early Childhood Services Unit launched a reading program in an effort to increase parent-infant interaction while encouraging healthy development.
A baby needs to hear your voice. That child's brain, from birth to 3, 80% of that child's brain is developed. So if you're not communicating, you're not talking with the baby, you're not doing the things that you're required to do, the child will be left neglected and the brain will not develop the way it should be developed. So we encourage parents, talk to your baby, sing to your baby, start reading.
Ms. Thorne encouraged parents to be openly affectionate to their children in order to create that strong bond.
The first thing that you can do, I would encourage parents to listen to their children. Listen, and not when I say listen, not just listen with your ears, but as young parents, you have to listen with everything. You listen with your eyes, you listen to your baby's cry, that's how they speak to you. If a baby is crying, you can tell the type of cry. If it's a hunger cry, if it's pain, if it's whatever, you can tell. Listening to your child helps you to be in tune with what is happening with that child. As a young mother also, if you have your baby, tell that child how much he or she is loved. If you have to spend your entire day saying I love you, let that child know that I love you. Mom, Dad, we love you, and let that child feel and sense that love coming from you. Cuddle your child.
Institutional care is by no means a permanent option for the CCPA. Therefore, adoption becomes an option, as manager of the adoption department, Ms. Cassina Jardine, explains that the agency's policy is to have children grow up in families.
We wouldn't want children to be in institutional care or other alternative care for any lengthy period. It's not necessary for that to happen. And adoption is a way where children can be placed in a permanent family to be cared for, because we know for children to have healthy development, and one of their rights is to a family. For children who are already in families, we need them to remain there. All right, so adoption would be the last care option for a child. It's not when children come then we say, oh yes, let's put this child up for adoption. No. And that's why there are some children that are still in institutional care, and they would need permanency.
With adoption, however, there are certain criteria to be met to ensure that the decision is within the best interest of the child.
We have to do that investigation, and we're looking for certain requirements. Now, those be it, we'll have to do police checks, we have to do background checks, there are medicals that are involved, references, of course. We have to check the environment of where this child is going to be. So, be it biological relatives or non-biological persons who want to begin a process for adoption, those are things that we have to look at, because of course we need to ensure that where this child is going to be placed is well secured for that child, and it's in the best interest of the child.
The government of Guyana prioritizes the care of those who cannot yet care for themselves, and is fully invested and committed to the stable and nurturing upbringing of all of Guyana's children. Till next time, this has been Government in Action. I'm Shakil Williams. Have a good week.